Hello guys, welcome again with a new tutorial. I apologize I didn't post for a while any tutorials. I've just been busy with my project and what's going on with COVID-19. I hope you guys are safe and make sure you stay inside as much possible you can, and hopefully this crisis goes away as soon as possible. Alright, let's start our tutorial. Tutorial is Today's tutorial is a little bit interesting and it's very simple, and thankfully we have all the tools we need to do this stuff. Uh, Whether it's for learning purpose or for your project, this is gonna be very useful. I'm using AI Behavior Toolkit. You can get it in the marketplace. So let's start migrating to our project. Content. So most of you guys don't worry about this. Close that and now go to my project. Alright, let's open our map. Alright, so today's tutorial, as I state, is about AI, and what I want to do is make an AI, companion AI, that will be taking commands from me. In this case, we're gonna have a destructible door right here, and we will command the AI to breach it for us so we can go in. So let's try to save some talks and let's do business here. First, I wanna go to advanced. Since I did this merge with advanced locomotion V4 last time, so we will be using it. Okay, sorry. Blueprint, character logic. Okay, and now go to AI behavior and look for blueprint NPC. Alright, so I don't want to use this default animation. I want to use the ALS V4. It looks more interesting. So to do it, all you have to do is go to mesh, and next step is go to mesh for your AI, insert, and then go for anim blueprint, go back to your ELS, sorry, to your AI, and put your ELS anim blueprint. Compile, go to event graph. This is a step-by-step tutorial. So right click, call parent, and connect the nodes. Next step is call tick. So we get to call all the functions on tick. Right click, parent. Alright. So if you're not familiar with the way AI Behavior Toolkit work, you have two components. One is for trigger. This is how the AI receive messages, whether it's threat or help or anything like that. Behavior component is you get few states that you can switch based on an event or a trigger or anything like that. So you could switch from idle to attack or to follow or flee or such like that. The general setting, you have the initial behavior. This is what started on game begin. Uh, so it's idle. In our case, as a companion, we want the AI to follow the player. So what I'm gonna do is, since we're starting on idle, I'm gonna go within distance. So this, what it does, if you are, if you are or anything else with this player actor tag, in our case we're gonna call it player. If the player is within the distance of 1000, for example, then the behavior that's gonna switch from idle to, we're gonna say follow right here. Alright, line of sight, meaning if you are, this is another condition, if you are on a line of sight, then he will follow. Sorry, I put flee here. Follow. Now, since we switched to follow, we have to go again to follow settings, and we're gonna say the follow distance. So in here, how close the AI to your actor, to the one we specify as player. Do you want him to be stuck to you, or you want him to keep a little bit of distance? So in my case, to make it reasonable, I'm gonna just put 150. Alright, now compile and go back to our map, and I wanna do this from scratch with you guys so you understand better. For EI to move around this area, we need what's called, go to mode, it's called nav mesh. Nav mesh bound volume. Without this, the AI is not gonna be able to move anywhere. This is his map. This is his guidance. Alright, so I'm just gonna make a small area. Now, to verify the surface, the walkable surface for AI, you press B, and you see this green area highlighted. This is where the AI can actually walk or step on. Anything that it's not highlighted, the AI cannot access to it. Press B again to hide it. Alright, so I want to show you this step just in case you experience it, so therefore you know how to fix it. Where is my AI? Browse. Let's put the AI here. So we call him to follow the player. I'll just show you again. Go to self, tag, and make sure your tag here. Okay, this is not my character. Right here. Tag, and make sure your tag is player. Alright. So now when the player inside an area of 1000, radius 1000, the AI will follow you. But as you can see, this is why I want to show this. The animation is not playing. So for you to fix that, all you have to do is go to your AI and go to class settings, and here call the parent ALS base character, and go to mesh and make sure you enable update joint from animation. Compile, and now if we go and if we enter the 1000 area, now the AI should follow us, and he always gonna keep that 150 distance. I think it's a little bit close. So go to AI component and go to follow distance. Right here we're gonna call it 2000. Sorry, 200. Alright, so that's done. I don't want him to have his arm down. So what are you gonna do? Call overlay. If I believe that's what it's called, overlay state. Change this to rifle. And we want to add a rifle to this guy, so um, this is just for demonstration purpose. I'm not gonna do something fancy. Go to ALS and look for M4, and that's our rifle. So then add component, and I'm gonna add the M4 and make sure it's a child of the mesh. And here we're gonna look for the socket. It's called hand socket, and compile, and make sure you set this to zeros. Compile, and now this, the mesh is attached. If we play, we should have the rifle state. That will look much better. Alright, so next step is we want to set our command for him to destroy the door. So on your character blueprint, make sure you add the behavior trigger component. Alright, this is for the player, behavior trigger component, and this is what I did. When I press C, I called this component send area message. Who's sending it? It's with the player and the location of the player. Alright, and what I'm asking him is for help. Here you can select different messages, whether a threat, damage, help. So in my case, I just want to try with help. So the idea is when I press C, I'm asking him for help, and then when we go to the AI and go to behavior component, if he is on idle, meaning standing next to us, we're gonna have to add it here. So when he receive help message, we want him to seek, okay, to look for what, to look for something. And then when he is on follow, meaning what if we press C while he's following us, not in the idle state, we want him to do the same thing. We want help, seek. So now if we press C and he's in either this state, he's gonna switch to seek. So we wanna go to seek, and here we're gonna tell him what to do. So when he seek, what he's gonna look for, we want him to look for door. And then here seek, so once he found the door, and seek acceptance radius, this is how close he gonna get to the door. Well, let's say we're gonna say 150. When he's 150, we want him to play a melee attack, and that's gonna cause, basically destroy the door, breach the door. Alright, okay, so now we did this step. Now we need to go to the melee attack, and we need to set our animation. So go to content, or the folder of your desire. I have this animation from Kobold Rifle Kobold, and it's actually very fancy looking animation, and it's the kick melee. So just drop it, and here call ALS mannequin, import. Don't worry about this. Now we just need to do small adjustment to the animation. As you can see, frame 0, and here we don't want to rotate the sockets. It's just the animation. You don't want to do this for every animation, move the sockets around. You set your socket at the beginning, and that's it. Now if the new animation is not aligned, just come here and hold the hand and just rotate the weapon. and that should do. And add key and apply. Save. Done. Alright. Sorry, one second. So go to this animation is a root motion type animation. So make sure you enable root motion. Save. Next step is we need to create a new montage. Alright. Save. And now here you want to go to make sure it's default slot. Alright. Save. Now go to your AI Anime blueprint and make sure that you have a default slot at the end of your anime graph right here. Alright, so now we just have to add that montage to our melee attack. Go to AI behavior component, look for melee attack. Alright, melee attack right here, and make sure you're under melee, and where it says animation we want to add our animation. Alright, so the target should be door. You could add as many targets, by the way, and then when he finish this, he will go to idle, and when he go to idle, it's gonna trigger the condition. If we are in 1000 radius, he gonna follow us. So compile. Alright, so now this is done. The next step is we want to create an actor. We're gonna call it door, and we're gonna add destructibles. And for you to add destructible, make sure that go to plugins, built-in, and look for Apex. Make sure it's enabled. Alright, so go back to our door, and here we want to insert our destructible. I have this, where is it? Physics pack, destructibles, door, go to door, add it, compile, browse. Now if I put this, and make sure that you go to door self tag, and we want to call it door. Compile. Alright, so now if he follow me, if I go to close, he will follow me, and now when I press C, he should go to the door, but when I press C, nothing happening. And to fix this, we just have to copy same component that we have here. We're gonna have to copy them on, paste them on door, compile, and now if I go here, it's command. If I give him command, he's gonna go to door, and he's gonna play the animation. If I press C, go, break the door. Press C, go, break the door. C. Alright, well, I hope you like what you saw, and next part of this tutorial is to add actual damage. Actually, we could do it quick, but I will stop right now. It's 1:30 a.m. I will finish this tomorrow, and and I will add damage to the door and we'll make it break basically. Alright, thank you so much for watching and have a good night.